The lack of broadband internet service is an issue that's been plaguing the state for years. Now, help is on the way. That help comes from the Mississippi Electric Cooperative Broadband COVID-19 Act, which lawmakers passed this week. Our Quentin Smith joins us live in the studio to explain the details. Quentin?
Yeah, Joey, of the more than $1 billion the state received in coronavirus relief funds, $75 million is going towards broadband expansion. In particular, it's going towards those in rural areas. State leaders say this pandemic is exposing the lack of broadband services in certain parts of the state. Now they're hoping these funds will help solve that issue. Many school classes are now being taught online, and more people are working from home. This new normal during the COVID-19 pandemic is creating difficulties for rural Mississippians. That's why state lawmakers came up with the Mississippi Electric Cooperative Broadband COVID-19 Act. It's a bill that Public Service Commissioner Brandon Presley says he's definitely in favor of.
This is the largest allocation of funds, both on the state level and private dollars, for broadband expansion in the history of the state.
$75 million will go towards the grant program, but here's the catch. Each co-op that participates has to match each dollar the state spends. So, in all, $150 million is being used to help improve internet services in these areas all throughout the state.
This will be a grant for construction and connection. And so these grants will go out to not only build the backbone, the fiber backbone to get to these areas that lack service, but also everything from taking that individual service drop into the home of each customer. So it is a full package of broadband connectivity.
Each electric cooperative in the state has the option to be a part of this program, but if they choose to do so, they must act fast. The deadline to apply is July 17th, and the money will be sent out by the end of the month.
You've got folks now that are totally reliant on satellite internet service, which is very costly, and the speeds are not all that great. This grant program requires a minimum speed of 100 megabits upload and 100 megabits download, which is very fast internet speed. It's above the average in Mississippi.
Presley says how fast each home and area receives internet service is all based upon how fast their service provider can begin work.
Almost all of the areas that will be applied for in this grant program under the normal course of broadband expansion would be the last people that would be hooked up simply because they're in the most rural areas. Well, we're reversing that in this grant program and actually going to the people who in a normal course of business may have been the last house hooked up. They will actually be where we start.
Now, at this time, Governor Tater Reeves has not signed the bill, but Presley says he expects him to do so in the coming days.